Dear students of class 9th, in this video we will discuss new chapter of geography. Name of the chapter is population. In very simple sentence, we can define population as the total number of people living in a country at a given point of time. The people who constitute the population act as the producers as well as the consumers of goods and services. The main objectives of studying population is to estimate total manpower available for production. Second, the total amount of goods and services required for their consumption. We are primarily concerned with three major aspects of the population. First one, that is population size and distribution. How many people are there and where they are located. Second one, population growth and process of population change. How the population has grown and changed through time. Third one, characteristics or qualities of population. In this, we study about age composition, sex composition, literacy level, occupational structure, and health conditions of the population. After that, we will discuss about distribution of population. India's population as on March 2001 stood at 1028 million, which account for 16.7% of the world's population. These 1.02 billion people are unevenly distributed over our country. Total area of our country is 3.28 million square kilometer, which accounts for 2.4% of the world's area. In 2001, Uttar Pradesh, with population size of 166 million people, it was the most populous state of India. Uttar Pradesh accounts for about 16% of country's population. On the other hand, the Himalayan state Sikkim has a population of just about 0.5 million and Lakshadweep has only 60,000 people. Almost half of the India's population lives in five states of our country. The states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh. After that, we'll discuss about, we will go through the slide. After that, we'll discuss about distribution of population. This slide is showing you the population distribution in 2001 and 2011. So when we are talking about distribution of population, that can be shown in two ways, in term of absolute number and in term of density of population. So with regard to the population distribution in our country, what we notice that population is unevenly, or you can say unequally distributed in our country. There are different reasons for uneven distribution of population in our country. So with regard to the density of population, it can be defined as number of persons living per square kilometer of land. So when we are talking about distribution of population, what I told you, we can know that we can study that in term of absolute number and in term of density of population. So when we study distribution of population in term of density, it refers as very accurate way to study the distribution of population because it shows the number of inhabitants living and the area, the ratio in between the number of people, relationship in between the number of people and the land. So it is considered as very perfect way of studying distribution of population. The population density of India in the year 2001 was 324 persons per square kilometer. Densities vary from 904 persons per square kilometer in West Bengal to only 13 persons per square kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. If we'll take the example of the areas where the density of population is below 250 persons per square kilometer, in those areas we are getting rugged terrain, unfavorable climatic condition. Assam and most of the peninsular states have moderate population densities because in this area we are getting hilly, dissected and rocky nature of the terrain, moderate to low rainfall, shallow and less fertile soil. So these are the regions due to which these parts are moderately populated. The northern plain and Kerala in the south have high to very high population densities because all of you know that Great Northern Plain is having fertile soil, climatic condition is ambient, there is abundant rainfall, and above all, due to flat surface of the Great Northern Plain, what you might have studied in junior classes also, that low-lying flat land is known as plain. So the flat land is sufficient, which helps the people to construct their houses very easily. And land is fertile, so fertile land is providing sufficient amount of food grains to the people. After that we'll discuss about population growth or growth of population. So, when we are talking about population growth, it refers to the change in number of inhabitants of the country within a specific period of time. It is calculated in two ways, in term of absolute number and in term of percentage. When we are studying about the growth of the population in term of number, it refers to studying population in absolute numbers or persons in a country or a region. It is calculated by subtracting the earlier population from the base year. And when we are talking about percentage change per year, it is studied in terms of persons percent per annum. Example, if we have 2% increase in population, it means 2 persons after every 100 persons were added. It is also called the annual growth rate. Now we'll discuss about the process of population growth. There are three main processes of change of population: birth rate, death rate, and migration. Birth rate. It is the number of live births per thousand persons in a year. It is a major component of population growth in India. Second one, death rate. You can see this slide. It is the number of deaths per thousand person in a year. It is the main cause of the rate of growth of Indian population. After 1921, due to improvement in health and medical facilities, epidemics like plague, cholera, influenza, malaria, etc. were brought under control, and consequently there was sharp decline in death rate. Migration. It is the third component of population growth. Migration means movement of people across regions and territories. It is generally of two types: internal migration and international migration. Internal migration is that under which people move from one part of the country to another. It can be within a state or from one state to another. Internal migration does not change the size of population, it only changes the density of population. In India, main cause of internal migration is pull and push factors. Migration from rural to urban areas in India has taken place mainly due to rising population in rural areas. Second one, poverty and unemployment in rural areas, lack of demand for labor in agriculture, increased employment opportunities, better education and living standards in urban areas, expansion of industrial and service sectors in the urban areas. The phenomenon of migration has resulted in the steady growth of population in towns and cities. Urban population has increased from 17.29% in 1951 to 25.72% in 1991. After that, we will discuss about international migration. Movement of people from one country to another is known as international migration. Since 1970s, Highly educated and skilled professionals have migrated from India to developed countries. So, about the age composition, we will discuss in the next video.